Well, how's it going, guys? Welcome to Halloween Hangout, where we talk nothing but Halloween. Um, welcome in, welcome in. Gonna wait for some people to get in here. Obviously, as you guys know, I scheduled this for. I was supposed to do it later tonight, but I'm actually gonna try to do it little. I'm doing it right now because I haven't done a noon stream before, so it's definitely I just thought it would be a good idea to to try it out, today. Um, I'm gonna wait for some people to get in here, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people probably at work too. So I don't know how much people are gonna show up. And a lot of places are um, like in different countries and like Australia and all that. It's like nighttime. So I know they're all in bed probably at this point. Um, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Wait for some people to get in. Just talk about Halloween. Um, so yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing in the stream today. So again, I'm just gonna wait for some people to get in here, but I'm gonna start talking about obviously Halloween now. First things first, guys. We all know about. I talked about this before about the Halloween franchise, right? I talked about how I think that we probably won't get another Halloween film for at least another 5 years, 10 years down the line, in my opinion. Um, that's what I truly believe personally. But who really knows? Who really knows? I definitely think Scream or not Scream Halloween. They're not going to quit making them. I already know that there is going to be another one. A lot of people have a problem with them making another one, but I don't really have a problem with it because it's all about money, at this point. And this franchise makes a lot of damn money, so I'm not upset about it personally at all. I'm actually not. I'm not upset at all about it. Um, I think a lot of people just don't want. I think this is the main problem. Like a lot of people, I guess, don't want to see Michael. Um, a lot of people don't want to see Michael um, come back because he got thrown into that machine, which I understand why you would not want him to come back because it's kind of unrealistic, and he got shredded to pieces. So realistically, he can't. You shouldn't be able to come back. Um, but yeah, I definitely don't think that. I don't think that it's a big deal personally. As long as they do a whole nother timeline, I really don't care at this point. You know, so yeah, that's my view on that. I don't really care what they do as long as um they don't follow Halloween Ends. If they do a follow from Halloween Ends, that's when I have a problem. So I really don't mind it. I really don't mind if they do that, but personally, um, but a lot of people are saying that Halloween shouldn't come back at all. But again, it's about the money, and they're going to continue the franchise regardless. And especially if they start a whole new timeline, Well, I don't think it's really going to matter as much personally. Um, but that's just my opinion on that. So that I think that there is a lot of people. There's a lot of people wanting like a sequel to Halloween 4, in which I talked about that as well. Um, Halloween 4 is probably the most underrated Halloween film without question. That's just my opinion on that. Um, I definitely think it's the most underrated. I liked all the characters. I liked Jamie Lloyd. I liked Rachel. I liked all the characters, in that film. The only thing that I didn't like, however, was that they tried to kill Laurie Strode. They tried to kill Laurie Strode's character off, I guess, off screen, and they try to say that she died, like off screen. That's probably my only problem with it. But other than that, I really don't. I really don't mind it. You know, I just don't. I don't mind it at all. I think it's a well-rounded. It's a good film. Okay, maybe that's the one problem I have. Okay, yeah, Laurie Strode getting killed off screen. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to say that she died in that accident or something like that. So I mean, I understand like why people are like why people feel that it's kind of stupid. I feel like that's stupid too. But Halloween 4 as a whole is just it's a good film. I think aside from all that, aside from them trying to kill Laurie Strode off screen. Um, so I really don't mind it personally. It's a good film, the underrated film on it, and I wouldn't mind if they did a sequel to it, to Halloween 4, because then you have more open door. You can have a lot of characters from that film that they could return, like Danielle Harris, especially, which she hasn't been in the Halloween film probably. Well, she was in Rob Zombie's film, but she was playing a different character. So I'm talking about her coming back to play like Jamie Lloyd again or something. So man, I'd be okay with it. I think that's what I want the most. I don't want to see Rob Zombie make another one or anything like that, because I feel like Rob Zombie, again, I feel like he ruined the films, and I don't think he did. I don't think he did a good job. Like I just don't think he did a good job. Maybe with like the kills and all that, but that's probably about it. And I did like seeing Michael as a kid, but that's about it. So, um, other than that, I don't really know when we're gonna get another Halloween. I'm gonna say I do think of 5 years or so. Of course, we don't know that. It could be way longer than that, but I'm going with 5 years at this point. I think 5 years sounds about right, personally. Um, that's just my opinion on that. But and I made a video about Rob Zombie potentially coming back to make another one, and I don't want it. I don't want it. Number one, because again, he ruined the Halloween films for me. You know, so I don't want to see him back. I don't want to see him come back at all. Like I don't want to see him, return personally. So at this point, it's just a rumor. He's not officially going to come back or anything like that. It's just a rumor at this point. But it's definitely worth noting that he is still around. He's still, I don't know what projects he's been doing, anything like that. I just don't think he fits Halloween. I've been saying that. I've been saying that he fits, like Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like that type of film. Like he doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit Halloween, in my opinion. Halloween's just not his style. So I don't think that he's gonna come back personally. It's just a rumor at this point. And plus, even if he did come back, it would be only hopefully like if he did come. Obviously, if he did come back, I'd be disappointed. You know, because there was a lot of rumors, circulating. A lot of people were saying that he could return to make a third film, which I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it at all. So that's just my opinion on that. Personally, we'll see what happens. I don't think that he's going to return. I don't think that he should. I think he did enough damage, as it is. But anyhow, so yeah, that's basically my take on that. I think that Rob Zombie, I don't think that he will come back. I don't think he should. I just don't. I just don't think he should. Because again, you're basically risking another, shit. He basically would put salt, pour salt in the wound at that point to the Halloween franchise. Like he would basically like bury it, in my opinion. So I don't think that him making another Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween is worth it. Like people are saying that it's worth it and all that. Like it really isn't though. Like it's not really worth it at all to me. So that's just my opinion on that. Like I don't think it's worth it at all. I think it would be actually a shit show, personally. Um, and again, nothing. And look, again, a lot of people have their own opinion, of course. I'm not gonna bash people for their opinion or nothing like that. You know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody does what everybody loves to do or likes what they like, just like with food, as I was saying. You know, now I'm not gonna bash anybody for that. Hey, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you like his films because a lot of people do, and there's a lot of people that like the kills, which I like the kills, and I liked how they showed Michael as a little kid, but it was just the overall like story that he was trying to tell. Like I feel like he was trying to overtell, he was trying to he was trying to tell Michael's story. Like he went too deep into Michael's story, So I think he went way too deep into Michael personally, explaining him too much. But I do applaud him for doing something different at least, because he tried to do something different. So that's one thing I'll give him credit on. Like that's the one thing I'll give him credit. But other than that, I'm not going to give him credit for anything else. Like because again, it was a shit show. I don't like the film, personally. I don't think it's the worst Halloween film. I just don't think it's the best. Like I don't think it's up there with John Carpenter's. Like it's not on par with that. Like in my opinion, and for those fans out there that are saying like these diehard Rob Zombie fans, out there basically saying that Rob Zombie is a good filmmaker. To these people, like to Rob Zombie fans, like people are saying that Rob Zombie is better. He's better than John Carpenter for some reason. Like I don't understand like why they think that. Like I don't understand. Maybe it's because it's because the graphic kills. That's the reason why people hate people. The Rob Zombie fans always say that like because I guess they prefer Rob Zombie's films over John Carpenter's. Maybe because the graphic kills. Maybe because the character it was just more graphic. Like, but that's not what John Carpenter was about. He wasn't about all that gore or anything like that. Like, so I don't really get like why people, which I understand it's their opinion and they're entitled to it, but to me that's blasphemy to say that Rob Zombie's a better filmmaker. Like when John Carpenter, originated Halloween. So that's just my opinion on that. So maybe John Carpenter's films weren't like crazy like that. Like they didn't have a lot of gore, didn't have a lot of blood. But that's not what he does, man. That's not his style, you know? He doesn't do that. He doesn't have a lot of gore, doesn't have a lot of um he doesn't have any of that in his films. Like he just doesn't care for any of that. So yeah, I just don't like I didn't mind all the blood in Rob Zombie's film. I just don't think that people just don't know what they're talking about, when they say he's better than John Carpenter, like, and the blood, okay. Okay, that's cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the kills. But that does not make him better than John Carpenter, you know? So that's all I gotta say. But I guess people, like I was saying, people are entitled to their opinion. So I'm not gonna sit here and judge them for that. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're in the wrong or anything like that, because I know for a fact that they aren't, or I know for a fact that they are in the wrong. But I'm not. Well, they're not in the wrong because that's just their opinion. But it's kind of blasphemy though to say that that John Carpenter, that Rob Zombie's a better filmmaker than John Carpenter. Like, so that's blasphemy. And that's something that I would never say. But that's what the Rob Zombie fans always say. They always say, "Oh well, it's a better film than the original 1978." No, it's not. Okay, maybe film wise, yeah, because back in those days, back in the 70s, we didn't have technology that we do now. So yeah, maybe like graphically, yeah. But you can't sit there and compare it to the original. You know? You just can't, in my opinion. You just can't. There's no way possible that I'm going to compare it to the original, because it's nothing like it. All it did really for me was copy it. That's all it did. You know? And I understand that's basically that's basically the point. That's the point of a remake. I understand. That's the point of of a remake. But again, when you're rehashing the same exact scenes, the same exact moments, the same exact, characters and all, it's basically like a role reversal. We had the same exact characters, which that's fine. That's the point of a remake, right? But on the flip side of things, like going into like copy in 1978, that's what I don't like. Because again, you're basically rehashing the same things that we already saw, but you're just trying to make it better, because we got newer technology now, which that's cool and all, but I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of when remakes copied like the originals. Like I don't like that, because we've already seen that. And it's like, if we want to watch the original, we could go back and watch it, no problem. I have a copy of that. And it's just like, why do I have to watch another version of it that's obviously got better? Obviously now we got better technology, we got better things than they did back then. But like, I mean, why would I want to watch a remake, basically the same thing that happened, but it's, why would I want to watch that over, like, again? Like, I already watched it before, So, I mean, it's basically the same story, different, just more graphic kills. That's all it is, which I don't mind it. Again, I like the graphic kills. It's entertaining, which a lot of people were saying that they were throwing up, watching, his films because of all the gore. But that's clear. I didn't throw up at all. I thought it was pretty entertaining. I thought it was entertaining for sure, but it's all about the story for me, And then he portrayed Dr. Loomis as a dickhead. The way he portrayed Dr. Loomis was my other problem. And the way that he portrayed Laurie Strode. Like, those are my main problems. Like, my number one problems with the film. Dr. Loomis was never like that in any of the originals. If you go back and watch any of the original films, you know for a fact that he wasn't like that at all. Like, he basically, Rob Zombie is saying that that Dr. Loomis writes books about Michael. Like, no. Get out of here with that. Like, Rob Zombie made Dr. Loomis look like a dickhead. You know what I mean? And Dr. Loomis wasn't anything like that. And I understand John Carpenter, he gave him permission to make his own film, do whatever he wanted. But at the same time, you don't sit there and shit on Dr. Loomis like that and Laurie Strode. Like, Laurie Strode, first of all, Laurie Strode was not a drug addict. I'm telling you that right now. Like, she wasn't. If you go back and watch the original films again, she is not a drug addict. Like, I could tell you that right now. Like, she's just not. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that she's a drug addict and all that shit, because she isn't. She isn't. I've never seen her like that in the originals. I've never seen her, acting crazy and shit like that. Maybe she had PTSD, but that's it. That's all she had. I don't know if she had PTSD about a white horse, but I know she did. Wasn't a drug addict though. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, my main problem, those right there are my main problems with it. So those are the reasons why I don't want to see Rob Zombie get involved again, because of that. Those reasons alone. And also too, there's just a lot of people out there that seem to think that he's a better filmmaker than the legend John Carpenter, which absolutely just BS, and that's blasphemy to say, because without John Carpenter, there's no Rob Zombie, in my opinion. I don't think Rob Zombie would even considered to remake the Halloween film, So that's just my opinion. But yeah, so I don't want to see him back. I don't want to see him come back and make another one. He already ruined him, in my opinion. He did enough damage to it. I think it's time for him to leave it alone and move on to something different, because there's other films out there like Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw, especially Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is like his style. You know what I mean? It's his style. So why wouldn't he just go there and make that or something, or Texas Chainsaw? Because I mean, Texas Chainsaw is, I mean, like Friday the 13th is, it fits his style so perfectly. It fits his style so perfectly, like, and so does Texas Chainsaw, because it's more brutal. You know what I mean? Like, it's more brutal, it's more intense, you know, and it's all around just more like brutal. Because Jason literally rips people's arms off and does crazy shit, you know. And to me, that fits more of his style. So that's just my opinion. I don't think he fit Halloween. Honestly, I don't think that he was a good fit for Halloween. A lot of people were saying that he was gonna come back and supposedly he was gonna come back, and I guess this is just a rumor as of right now. Supposedly he was gonna come back and what was I gonna say? I forget what the hell I was gonna say. I forgot what I was talking about. Um, yeah, I lost track of what I was saying. um, but yeah, Rob Zombie, he fits the Friday the 13th, you know, and I just don't think that he was a good fit for Halloween personally. Halloween is not his style at all. Like, so that's just my opinion on that. All that, like, he's a good, okay, maybe he's a good songwriter. He's just not a good director, in my opinion. Like, damn near every movie he's in, or every movie that he directs, he's always got his girlfriend or his wife in there, acting like a fucking lunatic. You know what I mean? He's always got her. He always got her. He's always, every film. He's always got his girlfriend, his wife, or something. And there, and she's like, he like makes her act like a fucking lunatic. Like, it's kind of annoying, you know. Um, but yeah, that's just basically my opinion on that. Rob Zombie's maybe he's a good songwriter, just not a good director. But anyways, I'm gonna change the topic. So, the most underrated. I'm gonna talk about the most underrated Halloween film. Okay, the most underrated Halloween film for me is probably, I'm gonna say, Halloween Resurrection. I think Halloween Resurrection is probably, without a doubt, one of the most underrated Halloween films. I actually liked, the setting, the storyline and all that. I liked all that. Like the masks. I like the characters. Um, I think that's one of the most underrated ones, in my opinion. The most underrated Halloween films. Um, but I also liked another one. Obviously, is Halloween 4, which I don't think Halloween 4 gets as much hate as Halloween Resurrection does. Um, I think Halloween Resurrection gets a lot more hate by far, but um, so yeah, I think Halloween Resurrection, to me, I made a video about this as well. I said that I think that it's the most underrated film by far, in my opinion. Like, I think it's the most underrated. Like, nobody is gonna tell me different. I just think It's the most underrated, the most unappreciated film out there. Um, and there's a lot of people that don't like it, give it crap because of Laurie Strode dying in the opening. Which, okay, maybe yeah, that's probably the worst part about the film, her dying in the beginning, the way they did it. But at the same time, it's a good movie. That's just my opinion. Um, that's like people like H2O. H2O is another good film. I like H2O as well. Like that's another good one. I mean, I like that, but I don't like it as much as Resurrection. That's just personally me, though. I mean, and I'm not saying that Resurrection is a better film or anything like that. I'm just saying that Resurrection is an underrated film. Like it's not. I think it should be talked about just as much as H2O. Um, in my opinion. And then another one, obviously, is another one that I like, which a lot of people don't like this one either. And this one is obviously Donald Pleasant's like very last one that he did before he sadly passed. Um, and that one is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now that one's another underrated one that I really like. Um, a lot of people just didn't like it because I guess Jamie Lloyd, aka okay, so this is what happened. Okay, Danielle Harris was supposed to be in the movie, right? I guess she signed like a contract to be a part of the film. Um, but I guess the producers and the directors like said that they were gonna kill her character off, so she decided to back out or something because she didn't want to be a part of that. Like, so I guess they put a look-alike in there, and it was something about that she had like a baby or something like that, and obviously they ended up killing her character off. So I guess she was pretty pissed off about that. They obviously had a different actress, play her. It wasn't Danielle Harris, um, but yeah, I guess she was pretty pissed about that. She was pretty mad that that happened. She wasn't able to. She didn't want her character to get killed off. And she got all that damn money. She paid all that money to be in it. Basically a waste of money at that point. so, so yeah, I mean, that's one thing that people don't like is that there's a different actor playing, Jamie Lloyd, but at the same time, I understand why Danielle Harris didn't want to do it because she didn't want to be a part of that. She doesn't want her character. She didn't want her character to get killed off. Like, why in the world would she want to be a part of a movie where your character gets killed off? Like, and especially when it's basically like a waste of money too. You get paid all that money and then you get told that your character is gonna be killed off. Like, so that's absolutely just that's the part that I hate. Like the part that I'm pissed off at. That they basically didn't tell her anything like that. They didn't tell her that until after she gave them the money. So something like that. So I guess that's what it is. And I guess I guess they were willing to pay her a lot. Yeah, they were gonna pay her a lot, but I guess I guess she was supposed to be paid. She didn't get paid enough. I forget what it was necessarily. Like I don't know the full story, but I know that she was pissed. I guess about not being in the movie or not being or her character getting killed off. Excuse me. Um. so she didn't want to be a part of it. She didn't want to be in the movie. So, but yeah, she was supposed to come back during that time. Um, but yeah, it's still a good film. I like it. It's a good film. I really do like it. It's a good film in my opinion. Still, um, Donald Pleasance, obviously, his last film that he did, which is he sadly passed away. After so that he always does a great job. He always did a great job, in the Halloween films. So I really like that. I just like that. It's underrated too. There's just a lot of I don't know what it like. I just do. I just like it. You know, a lot of people just give it crap. So for that one reason, like I was saying, the different actor playing Jamie Lloyd, which and them killing her character off like that, which is absolutely they should have just kept her character alive, in my opinion. But that's my honest opinion. Um, but yeah, so that's basically what I mean. Halloween 5, I don't hate it. Halloween 5 is a good film. Um, that's a really good film. I just don't. I guess my problem with it at this point, my main problem with it is that um, was the mask. I think that's probably the only problem with it, with Halloween 5, was that the mask wasn't right. They did it different. Looked kind of weird. Kind of looked like a witch in a way. That's exactly what it looked like to me. Um, so yeah, I don't think that it was a bad film whatsoever. I do think it was a good film. It just wasn't a. I guess it just wasn't a perfect film or like anything like that. I mean, any film that you watch is not going to be perfect, of course. It's not going to have. It's not going to be perfect. So that's probably my only problem with it is just the mask. The mask looked kind of weird. I guess supposedly they couldn't get the right. I forget why they didn't get the Halloween 4 mask back in Halloween 5, but that's basically my only problem with it. Halloween 5 is it's a good film and all, but it's just not a film that I could sit there and like the mask is the only problem for me. Like that's the only thing I think that holds it back is the mask. Like other than that, it's a good film. I would say. I mean, I would say it's a pretty decent film. Not bad at all. You know, it's a good film in my opinion. Um, but other than that, like the kills and all that, great. It's a great film. It's just the mask again holding it back. That's what held it back for me. It was just the mask, the look of it. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a great film still, and um, and also Rachel's character dying too. And I also had a problem with that, which I didn't think her character should have died. I think she should have lived at least a little longer. But I feel like she died too soon. Um, that's just my opinion on that. You know, like she's a good. She was a good character, like in my opinion. She survived Halloween 4, but then she gets killed off in 5. So it's kind of my problem with it. But that and then The Mask. But other than that, it's a good film. As I was saying, don't got any problems with it. Um, so, and honestly, too, obviously, you guys know my take on this, like on the worst Halloween film. Now, the worst Halloween film for me, okay, is probably has to be Halloween 3. You guys know I've actually made a rant video about Halloween 3 before. Um, I don't like that film. Again, Michael's not in it. If you don't have the character in it, what's the point? You know, you name it Halloween, and then you don't have Michael in it. Like, if they would have named it something different, they would have named it a little something different. Like, I wouldn't have minded it. But since they named it Halloween, that's basically my takeaways of it. Like, because everybody basically was expecting Michael Myers to be in the film, and then it turned out that he wasn't in the film. So that's basically my takeaways of it, personally. Um, you named it Halloween. That's my takeaway. You named it Halloween. Michael's not in it whatsoever. Um, it's kind of similar to me. It's kind of similar to Jason Goes to Hell, which Jason Goes to Hell is the most, without a doubt, the most probably the worst Friday the 13th film by far, in my opinion. I mean, the look of Jason in that film, at least he showed up, for at least in the beginning and then at the end. But that movie was basically like a possession film, like basically Jason was possessing people and whatnot, and that was kind of stupid to me. And the kills, were pretty damn good. I mean, the kills were pretty damn good, but again, if it's not the characters doing the kills, what the hell's the point? You know. You can say, well, Jason, it was Jason, but no, it wasn't, because Jason, he wears a hockey mask, he wears, the jumpsuit or whatever. So you mean to tell me that that's Jason? No. Maybe the person possessing maybe he's possessing other people, but doesn't mean that they're Jason. Like, you know what I mean? That's just my opinion on that. Now, I feel like Halloween 3 is more of a possession film, more than anything. Basically, where his spirit goes inside of other people or whatever. I don't know what it like. And the only thing that I could say, is that the most, God damn, I can't stand that commercial. That commercial is absolutely annoying as hell. That Shamrock commercial, that shit is annoying as hell. No doubt. 1 minute, y'all. I got a cough. Excuse me there. I had to mute because I had the cough there. I sneezed. I didn't want to sneeze into the mic or nothing. But yeah, so that's basically my opinion on it. And there's a lot of people out there that that like it. Which again, okay, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you liked it. But for me, I can't sit there and say that I enjoy it. I just can't enjoy it because again, you named it Halloween. You named it Halloween, so you were supposed to have Michael in it. but then you decided not to have Michael in it, so you still named it Halloween, and Michael wasn't in it. So that's basically my only takeaway of it. Like, if you would have did it, if you would have named it something else, something different, I would have been okay with it. Like, it wouldn't have been a bad movie to me. Like, you know, but I probably still wouldn't have been a fan. I mean, I probably still wouldn't have been a fan of it anyhow because, again, I want to see the character of Michael do his thing, you know. So I mean, that's basically why you watch a Halloween film. You know, you want to see Michael do his thing. You want to see the character. And Friday the 13th, the same way. The Jason Goes to Hell. I mean, I felt like Kane Hodder, which I don't want to change the subject too much, but I feel like Kane Hodder was wasted in that film. Like, he didn't get to do enough. He didn't get to do enough, you know, because the Jason character wasn't really in the film for that long. You know, he was only in the film for like in the beginning and then at the end, but mostly he's possessing people throughout the most of the film. No, I mean, Kane Hodder didn't get to do what he didn't get to do much, in my opinion, in that film. You know, but at least you got to see Jason. So I will say that Jason Goes to Hell is better than Halloween 3, because Halloween 3 you didn't see Michael at all. You know, and Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell. You know, at least you got to see Jason for a little bit, and you got to see him at the beginning and the end. So it's not like you didn't see him at all, So I mean, but those the two films are pretty comparable. Like, they're kind of similar. Like, a lot of people kind of compare the two. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that, and I just don't. A lot of people like it. Again, a lot of people are fans of it. A lot of people feel that it's underrated, which I understand. People's opinion, people have their own opinions. People like what they like, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it. But the only part that I absolutely hate is that commercial, dude. That's the only part that I cannot absolutely stand. That Shamrock commercial, like, my gosh, that is so annoying, in my opinion. Like, there's no way in hell I could watch that again. And of course I have it in DVD. Of course I have it in DVD because, again, it's a part of the franchise, I may not like the film, but it's a part of the franchise, unfortunately. You know what I mean? And I want to collect all the movies. So of course I have to have every single one. Of course that's got to be a part of it too, So, and also, Halloween Ends, for instance. I didn't like Halloween Ends. I didn't like Halloween Kills. I don't have Halloween Ends yet in DVD, but I'm going to get it probably because, again, I'm trying to collect the Halloween films, and your collection isn't complete, if you don't have all the films. So, I mean, I really don't got a choice. I really don't got a choice if I want to collect the Halloween films. So, I got to get every single one. So, you can't say, oh, well, that film was so bad, I'm not going to get it. Like, if you want to collect Halloween films, you got to get it. Your collection isn't complete. So that's just my opinion on it, even though it's a bad film. So, and to be honest with you, Halloween Ends was bad. Halloween Kills was bad, but I think Halloween Ends was by far the worst. But is Halloween Ends better than Halloween 3? Yes. I definitely do think so. I think it is better than Halloween 3. Halloween 3 is not a good film at all. Halloween 3 is not a good film for me at all. Like, a lot of people enjoy it. But do I think Halloween Ends is better? Yeah, because at least Michael was in it. You got to see him. Even though the Corey character was absolutely just useless, absolutely just a character that just got thrown into the film. You know, basically no build up or anything. Like, I mean that's and Michael basically had a partner. So I don't like that either. I don't like that Michael had a partner, but at least you got to see him. That's the whole point. At least you see him in the film, you know? So it's not like that's for me the difference. Like it matters if you see him or not, compared to Halloween 3 where you don't see him at all. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that. And also too, Halloween 3 or Halloween Ends, Corey Cunningham had no build up to his character or anything like that, which it was kind of stupid that he just came out of nowhere. He wasn't even in Halloween Kills. He wasn't in Halloween 2018 or anything like that. Like, he was just thrown into the movie for no reason. Like, there was just no build up. He was basically like a random character that just popped up and popped up out of nowhere. Like, so I didn't really like that. I didn't like that film. That film was absolutely just, yeah, it's bad, but is it as bad as Halloween 3? No. But it's definitely a bad film for sure. Like, and the fact that Michael had a tag team partner was absolutely just a waste of my time. Because Michael never had a tag team partner. He always, did it himself. And I think that was corny. Like, especially when they were fighting each other. Him and Corey, that was absolutely corny, in my opinion. But so yeah, Halloween Kills, yeah, that's bad. That's a bad film. But it's not as bad as, in my opinion, it's not as bad as Halloween Ends. Shoot, Halloween 2018 is better than Halloween Kills and Ends, in my opinion. Even though Halloween Kills is not that bad, but it's also not great. Like, it's better than Ends by far. But I think Halloween 2018 is probably the best out of the three, hands down. I think Halloween 2018 was it's just a better film, in my opinion. So again, Halloween. Oh man, I just don't understand like what they were trying to do. Like, if he would have had a build up of Lord Cunningham, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But you didn't give us that build up, so to me, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, Corey Cunningham is absolutely just an absolute useless, just useless. That's all he is. Okay, the actor, nothing against him or anything like that. Nothing against the actor, but the actor did a good job. And that's not his fault that he got put into that role, They basically asked him, to be a part of that. So It's not like it's his fault, the actor's fault, but you know, it's Jason Blum's and Blumhouse's fault for even doing that, like making him look stupid. So I'm not gonna sit here and blame the actor. I don't like the character, but doesn't mean that the actor didn't do a good job, because the actor did. You know, I think the actor did a pretty good job. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's just weird. Corey Cunningham wasn't even. Man, come on, man. He wasn't even a character like that. He wasn't even in the past. He wasn't in 2018 or Kills like at all. He wasn't ever mentioned or anything like that. He just pops up and Halloween Ends. And I heard that the reason why they did that truly was because they truly. This is the reason why they did that. They did that because um, they were trying to. I guess they wanted to get it done and out of the way. I guess so. They're kind of rushing it. See, and that makes a lot of sense why it was so bad, because they rushed it. Because again, they were thinking, because they were going to make The Exorcist or whatever. So they decided to rush this film, and that's why it was so. That's why That's why it was the way it was. It wasn't a good finale at all. Like, because of that, they rushed it, and when you rush a film, you're not gonna. It's not gonna be a good film, especially when you don't take your time with it. You don't slow down on it or anything like that. It's not going to be a good film. So, and that's exactly what we got. Exactly what we got. Just wasn't a good film. The reason why it wasn't is because they rushed it, and they were trying to go and make The Exorcist. And they were too focused on that, I guess. So, that's the reason why they rushed it for the most part. I think that explains why I was so stupid and so retarded. Like, why Corey Cunningham is a little bastard. Like, and nothing against the actor. Again, I just don't like I don't like Corey Cunningham. That's all it is. I don't like Corey Cunningham. That's all it really is. There's nothing against him or anything like that. And there's nothing against the actor. He did a good job. He did a phenomenal job, in my opinion. It was just the character. When you say you hate the character, it doesn't mean that you hate the actor. Well, that's two totally different things. Like, hating a character and liking a character, that's two totally different things. Like, if I say that I hate the character, it doesn't mean I hate the actor. Doesn't mean I'm bashing the actor for playing the character because he was asked to play that character. But so when people say, "Oh, well, do you hate the person? Do you hate the character?" It's just like, I hate the character. Why the hell would I hate the actor for? That's not common sense to say that. Like, I may not like the character, but it doesn't mean I hate the real person, like the actor. So, I mean, there's a difference, like, between hating a character and hating a real person. So, yeah, I don't understand why people always ask stupid questions like that. Well, do you hate the person? Do you hate the actor? Or do you hate the character? Or do you hate the actor? It's just like, I hate I hate the character. That's all it is. I don't hate the actor. The actor did a good job, you know. Oh. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that. Halloween is a well-rounded, franchise. Other than the Rob Zombie films, I think a lot of people find enjoyment. Um, I think there's a lot of people that find enjoyment in some of the Friday the 13th more than the Halloweens, which I think. I know this is a Halloween stream, and I don't want to change the subject too much, but um, I do believe that Friday the 13th is probably more. I would say it's more like entertaining than. Um, I'm gonna say it's more entertaining. That's all I gotta say. I think it's more entertaining than Halloween is in terms of like kills and whatnot. Like I just think it's far more entertaining and far more, just a lot more fun. But I still like the Halloween franchise. It's my second favorite, of course. And I do prefer Halloween still over Friday the 13th, but I think Friday the 13th is more entertaining. Um, Again, just the way he kills people, just the way, Jason, rips people's arms off, punches people's heads off, I think that's a little that's entertaining to me. Like he'd be like throwing like logs on people, so I like that. That's just more entertaining to me. Like Friday the 13th to me is just, yeah. I like Michael Myers more. Michael Myers is always gonna be like my favorite because of the basically he like stalks people. You don't know where he is or anything. You basically he could be anywhere in your house, pop out of nowhere. Jason kind of comes out of nowhere and basically, or just comes right at you. And you basically know that he's coming after you. Like he doesn't stalk people like Michael Myers does. Like Michael Myers stalks people, so I think that's more creepier than Jason coming after you, because you basically already know that he's coming. So I think Michael Myers is more creepy because he stalks, and plus you don't know where he is. Like you don't know where he is like at all. Like he could be anywhere. Like he could be in a closet. He could be anywhere. And you just don't know where he is, and he'll just pop out of nowhere. So I think that's more creepier. That's way more creepier in my opinion. That's just personally my opinion, but a lot of people may disagree with me, which is fine. A lot of people preferred, the Friday films over the Halloween films, which, yeah, I understand. Maybe in terms of like kills and all that, I do prefer Friday the 13th, like kill wise. But in terms of like stalkiness, who's the scariest, I'm going to have to go with Michael Myers. He's my second favorite. And yeah, like Jason, he's got creative kills and all that. He does crazy shit with like different weapons. He'd be like grabbing people's like heads and shit like that, squeezing it. He'd be like ripping people's arms off. He'd be grabbing people's legs, breaking it. He'd be stepping on people's face, stomping on their face. Like he does some crazy ass shit, dude. Like, he'd be grabbing, doing like a bear hug on their asses. Like, I mean, he's fucking crazy. Jason is crazy. Like, he'd be like doing crazy ass shit. Like he's probably the most entertaining killer, without a doubt. He'd be throwing like axes and shit at people. I mean, that's entertaining to me. And I'm not saying that Michael Myers, again, he's got good, of course, he grabs different weapons and all that, but he doesn't like rip people's arms off or anything. Maybe he like gouges people's eyes out, but and squeezes people's heads. But that's basically, I mean, he doesn't, it's not like he punches their head off or anything, but he does use other weapons, farm equipment, and whatnot. He basically like strangles people and shit, which is something that Jason doesn't do. I mean, Jason does, but not as much as Michael. Um, I think Jason relies on like using his axe and his machete and whatnot, using basically his hands and ripping people's arms off, and so it's not like he does like Michael doesn't do as half of the crazy shit that Jason does, But I do like Michael more. Michael is all around better. I think more scarier, a lot more scary. No. That's my take on that. But yeah, Jason is, I think Jason is without a doubt, the best, probably the most brutalist killers, like out of any like horror icon. I think he's like by far the brutalist, because again, he's a zombie. He does crazy ass shit, and he picks people. He just man, he does crazy ass shit, man. He just like he'd be punching people's heads off. He'd be doing bear hugs on people. He'd be like squeezing their heads. Like he'd be bashing their face against the wall. Like he'd be like ripping people's arms off, breaking people's legs, and all that shit. He'd be grabbing like logs and shit like that, throwing it at them. He'd be using bow and arrows. He'd be using he'd be fucking chopping people's fucking heads off with his fucking machete. Like man, dude, like he's fucking crazy. Like Michael Myers, like Jason's crazy. He's without a doubt probably the most brutalist. But so this is the way I'm gonna put it. So I'm gonna say this, okay? Like Michael Myers is the most. Michael Myers is the most. Michael Myers is the most scariest horror icon, I think, and Jason is the most. Jason is the most brutalist. If he had to pick who could be in Mortal Kombat, it's obviously Jason. Because again, he's more brutal. And he already does like fatality kills and all that shit. Like, so, oh yeah. But Michael Myers, he just doesn't do half the shit that Jason does, but Michael Myers is more scary, in my opinion. So if I did have to choose between, let's just say if Michael and Jason fight each other right now, right? I'm gonna say that Jason is probably more likely gonna win, based off of strength, because he is a zombie and he doesn't die. Like neither of them die, but I just think that Jason. I feel like Jason is more. He's like a lot more stronger than Michael Myers is. because he's like a zombie, so he's got a hell of a lot more strength, I think, than Michael Myers does. Um, but if you're talking about, let's just say, like Rob Zombies, if we're talking about Rob Zombies, Michael Myers versus remake Jason, then that's a whole nother story. Then I think Rob Zombie's version of Michael Myers would probably kick remake Jason's ass. If I had to be honest, like, because he's just more brutal. He's around probably 6'9". He's a lot taller than John Carpenter's, Michael Myers. Michael Myers and John Carpenter's films are about, I think, probably 6'3", 6'4", around there. And I think Tyler Mane, the guy who played Michael Myers and Rob Zombie's Halloween film, was around 6'10", I believe, 6'9", around there. So that dude was pretty damn big, pretty tall. So that's the reason why I truly think Rob Zombie's Michael Myers would beat the shit out of remake Jason. Like, hands down. Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, to me, was pretty damn big. And that's the one thing I could say that I really liked. But, he's big. So I can see that I can see Rob Zombie's Michael Myers being any Jason, remake Jason, Manhattan Jason, Jason X, whoever, But I mean, I could see him beating any of them, like brutal. Like, honestly, he's got way more strength. He's got a hell of a lot more strength than remake Michael Myers or remake Jason does. That's just my honest opinion, and size matters. Size matters, and I don't think I'm wrong about that. Like 6'9", that's tall, and I think remake Jason is around probably 6'5", 6'7", probably around 6'5". So I don't think he's as big. Personally, I don't think he's as big as. I don't think remake Jason is as big as Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, but he is pretty big. He is pretty damn big, and he's definitely one of those. He's definitely a. I mean, he's big, but he's not as big as Rob Zombie's Michael Myers. There's just no way. No, I think size matters if you're talking about both of these heavyweights, which I call them heavyweights because that's what they are, heavyweights. And I think size matters. And Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, towers over remake Jason by far. But if we're talking about, like, let's say, like, regular, like John Carpenter's Michael Myers, I think that Michael Myers would actually lose to Jason because he's not as big as Rob Zombie's version is. So, and there's two different sides of that. Like I think Rob Zombie's Michael Myers would brutalize and beat remake Jason, and probably beat any Jason that they're he'll probably beat all the Jasons. But if you're talking about John Carpenter's Michael Myers, I don't think he would win any matchup personally, because again, I don't think he would beat Jason, the John Carpenter version, because he's just not as big, and size matters. I think size matters big time. I think it makes a difference, personally. But that's just my opinion on all that. So yeah. But a lot of people don't want. I guess a lot of people don't want any crossovers, which I kind of understand. Like why you wouldn't want any crossovers or anything like that. I mean, I understand that. Of course, I understand. I understand all of that, you know. Um, but I honestly want to see it. I want to see a crossover. I want to see two horror icons fighting each other like we've seen Freddy versus Jason. Personally, a lot of people don't want to see a crossover because they don't feel like it makes sense, you know. Um, but I was saying I want to see Jason and Michael Myers. Now I think that's like the matchup, like the number one matchup that I would want to see, just because they're both similar in a lot of ways. They both can't die. They're both like quiet and silent, um, and they're both like big and strong as hell. They're strong as hell. So I definitely think that Jason and Michael Myers would be a pretty good matchup. A pretty well-rounded matchup because again, they both can't die. They both don't talk. They're both similar in a lot of ways, even though they have two. They have different stories. Um, they do get different stories. You know how Jason basically was. Jason, I guess Michael Myers. Michael Myers was born a psycho. Michael Myers was born a psycho. And Jason became a psycho because Jason's basically out for revenge. You know what I mean? That's why Jason started killing, and Michael started killing because he was born psycho. So, I mean, that's two different stories, but they are pretty damn similar. They both can't die. They both are strong as hell. Um, but yeah, um, so yeah, man, I'm just Jason and Michael Myers. Like again, like Michael Myers all around is more the scariest, you know. And yeah, of course, of course, I just think this is how I'm gonna put it. Okay, so in terms of who's the scariest, Michael Myers is better. In terms of the brutalist, Jason's better. That's the way to put it. So, um, that's just my opinion on that. And a lot of people, there's a lot of diehard, Friday the 13th fans. Which again, I don't want to get off subject too much because this is a Jason or this is a Halloween stream, so I don't want to get too much off topic here. But there is a lot of people that prefer the Friday the 13th films over Halloween, which and I understand that because Friday the 13th, again, is just more entertaining. Just the way like Jason kills people, the way he kills people, just um, the way he like. I'm not saying that Jason isn't scary because of course he's scary. There's no doubt about that. Like he's scary. Like he's a person that I would not want to mess with. Like I would not want to mess with somebody like Jason still, even though he's not like Michael or anything like that. Like he's similar to Michael, but they're totally different in a lot of ways too. Um, I would not want to cross his path still, even if there was even if he just comes after you and doesn't pop out of nowhere. I mean, Jason is Jason. You don't want to mess with him still. Just like you don't want to mess with Michael Myers, you know? And it's still something that you don't want to mess with still. I mean, they're both, I would say they're both, like, Jason's not as scary, but he's still somebody that you don't want to, like, mess with or anything like that because, man, he's still Jason. And he's still somewhat scary. Um, So yeah, I don't like Jason's not again. I've been talking about this, which again I don't want to change the subject because this is a Friday or this is a Halloween stream. But okay, so Jason, right? Jason, I never really cared for Friday the 13th at first. I always did. I didn't really like care for it as much. But then I started watching the films a lot more and started, to enjoy them a lot. Um, and of course, Friday the 13th is my third favorite, but behind Halloween. But I never particularly like enjoyed, for some reason, I never enjoyed the Friday the 13th, like I did, Halloween. Like in terms of like the kills, I enjoy Friday the 13th, but other than that, like I never really enjoyed Friday the 13th as much until I started watching it a lot more, and then I started getting into it a lot more and started enjoying it. Um, but yeah, I wasn't necessarily like a huge fan of it, but I do got the box set, the Scream Factory, so um, I do got that. So definitely got that. But there's a lot of people out there that prefer the Friday the 13th films. Of course. Which I understand. I understand. I get it. I totally understand. I understand like why people. I get why people enjoy it a lot more. Um, but Halloween is just all around better. It's more creepier. That's basically my wording. Um, it's more creepy. But yeah, I'm very curious on to when we get another Halloween film. I do believe that we will get another Halloween film, of course. There's no way in the world that it's that they're just going to quit making it. at this point. There's no way at all, like in my opinion. Um, that's just my opinion on that. So I definitely think that they will more than definitely make another film, in my opinion. Um, and oh, I didn't mean to do that. Huh? Um, yeah, there's still like not anybody like showing up tonight or today. A lot of people must be at work or something because again, it is a little early, and a lot of people don't really, I guess, show up in this as much as they do at night. Like, so I think I might try again later on. Might do another stream probably at 10 tonight or something. Might set that up. Probably do a Scream stream or a Friday the 13th stream or something like that. Maybe tonight do a double header. But yeah, a lot of people I think are at work. You know, and then Australia, obviously, people from Australia are you know good friends like Wayne and Scott Walker. It's all nighttime there, so they're probably in bed at this point. Um, but yeah, a lot of people are probably at work, you know, busy during this time. But it's okay. I'm still gonna keep going, you know. I know I'm kind of talking to myself, but eventually somebody will pop up. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. I just wanted to see how it turned out because I never tried to do a noon live stream like this before. So I always usually did like a nighttime stream. Usually like a 10 o'clock, at least a 10 o'clock stream. And I actually had plans to do this stream at night, but I decided not to because I kind of wanted to do something new and do it, you know. I wanted to do another one. I wanted to do it like right now, you know, at noon because I've never did a noon stream like this before. And I thought it would just be I thought it would be a great idea, you know, to try it. You know, to try a noon stream like and I usually don't because I usually schedule it, you know, for nighttime, like it probably around like 11 or 10 ish, you know, usually at nighttime. So I usually don't schedule it like right away or anything. I usually schedule it for like later at night. So I kind of wanted to do something a little different, you know, try to do it, you know, do it at noon. That's why I was hoping to see some people in here, but I'm obviously I just wanted to see how it I wanted to see how it would have went, because I never tried it before, never, and a lot of people I know are probably at work at this point, you know. Still, a lot of people probably are still at work, probably busy too. And then, like I was saying, Australia is pretty. It's dark out there, so I know I'm bringing that up. We got good friends, obviously, in the community named Wayne Turner and Scott Walker. Um, they're from Australia, but yeah, it's dark. It's nighttime there, which is crazy that they're a different time than us. Like when it's nighttime here, it's daytime there. When it's daytime here, it's nighttime there. So right now they're probably sleeping. Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I was planning on staying on here for quite a while. Um, yeah, and I'm pretty sure somebody will pop up. You know, I'm pretty sure they will. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. If not, um, maybe I'll try to do a stream later on tonight. When people are settled in, and because I think a lot of people are busy during this time. During this time particularly because it's kind of in the afternoon, or yeah, kind of in the afternoon still. So a lot of people probably are still at work and whatnot. And but yeah, I want to try something new. I never tried to do a noon stream before, so I wanted to do something different. For once, and whatnot. Um, I wanted to try to do something a little different. So it's definitely something. And yeah, that's why I usually schedule my streams, and so that people get basically get a heads up. Uh, but yeah, I'm just gonna be chilling here probably for a little bit. Uh, but yeah, um, it's definitely a great. It's definitely a great. And you know what I need to do particularly? I think I need to schedule. not only my streams, like a day before it happens or anything like that, I should try to schedule my like streams at least like a day before. Like, what to say if I schedule for 10:30 or something like that, and like what to say like 2 days earlier or something like that. I think that would be a lot better because then people will, I need to do better at scheduling my streams. I used to not schedule them like at all. Like I used to not schedule like at all. So that's pretty crazy. Like I never scheduled at all. So, but now I do. I schedule now. But yeah, so I'm just kind of chilling up in here. Oh, we do got a little guest here. We got Stu Mocker. We got Stu Mocker up in the house. How's it going, man? Thank you for popping in. Just talking about some Halloween. Um, thank you for popping in there. For appreciate it. But yeah, so we're just talking about some Halloween here. Talking Halloween, talking about the new Halloween film that I'm basically speculating about the when the next Halloween film will come out. Um, that's basically what I'm doing like right now. I'm basically speculating, basically theorizing on when it will come out. Um, well, I'm gonna look up something real fast. When is Halloween expected to come out? Or when is another Halloween film gonna come out? Okay, so there is a Halloween film. I think I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's called Season of the Boogeyman or something like that. I don't know if that's I'm not 100% sure if that's a fan film. It looks like a fan film, possibly. Because, yeah, that wouldn't be official, I don't think. Um, so, yeah, I definitely think it could be a fan film, maybe. Because, yeah, it would definitely wouldn't be an official film, I don't think. Um, yeah, it's a fan film. I'm pretty sure it is, anyways. Yeah, it's a fan made. So yeah, it's a fan made film that somebody is coming out with. So it's not an official film or anything like that. Um, so yeah, that's what it looks like at this point. Do you think Halloween Season of the Boogeyman 2024 is a real Hollywood film or fan film? Movie you mentioned shows a 2024 release date. Today is March or 2nd March 2023. How am I or two? So today is two, obviously March 2023. How am I supposed to evaluate a movie that is still under development and will be released many, many months from now? Huh. That's a good question. I don't know. So a lot of people are basically speculating: is it a Hollywood film, or is it a um? So is it a Hollywood film, and is it a fan film? Like a lot of people just don't really know. Is it real? Is it a fan film? I mean, I'm probably gonna go with it that it's a fan film, just because again, we would have gotten some kind of news by now if it was like official. Um, but yeah, it's a fan film, I think, at this point. Um, I think it will come out 5 years. Yeah, I think so too. I think 5 years sounds about right. Again, because if you think about it, right, 5 years, is about. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 10 years either. Like 10 years, 5 years. I mean, 10 years sounds about. I think that sounds about right. You know, I think that sounds about right. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was 10, because if you don't remember, after Resurrection or after the Rob Zombie films, it took 10 years for them to make another one. So I just wouldn't be surprised about that personally. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. Like if they had they waited 10 years and they went with they did what they're gonna go with what, like, after Rob Zombie's Halloween, it took 10 years for another one to come out. So I think they're gonna go by that possibly, but that may be a little bit overboard to some people, but that may very well be the case. You know, um, I think 5 years sounds. I mean, 5 years sounds about right. I would say somewhat. I guess. I mean, 5 years is not. I wouldn't say it's like crazy. Like it's not like long, long or anything like that. But it's definitely 10 years is longer than 5 years in my opinion, but 5 years is not as long as 10 years. So, but I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 10 years because again, if you think about it, um, you're basically, they're basically, after Rob Zombie's films, it took 10 years for another one for 2018 to come out. Um, so yeah, that's why I wouldn't be surprised by that. By if they waited 10 years, we really just don't know at this point. Speculation and really don't know. I mean, what's going to happen? So that's really all I got to say about that. Um, uh, excuse me. But yeah, I definitely don't think that we're going to get. I don't think that we're going to get another Halloween film anytime soon, unfortunately. But I'm just very curious, on it all. Like, I'm very curious on when we'll end up getting it, you know? I'm just very curious. Very curious. So, Halloween Genesis will be released in theaters and stream on Paramount Plus, or stream on Paramount Plus, excuse me, in 2023 by Paramount, Republic, Universal, New World, Trancos, I believe, Trancos, and Blumhouse, I guess. So Halloween Genesis. Huh. That's interesting. I've never heard of Halloween Genesis. Apparently, it's supposed to be coming out in. Apparently, it's going to come out in 2023. This year. Oh wait, we're almost to 2024 already. So what am I thinking? It must have already came out. Yeah, because it's already 2023, right? What am I thinking? Yeah, because it's almost 2024. So yeah, the Halloween Origin of Evil poster is fake. Maybe fans will love to see Carpenter collaborating with Friday the 13th director Sean S. Cunningham for a Halloween series, but that won't happen any soon. The Halloween Origin of Evil poster people saw online isn't real. Yeah. So I guess maybe fans will love to see Carpenter collaborating with Friday the 13th Sean Cunningham. Now that would be interesting if they did a collab with each other. You know? That would be interesting. That's what this says. Um, So I'm gonna look up when. Well, another Halloween movie come out. Okay, so there is a Halloween film called um this is probably all fake though. I don't know how real this all is, but um Halloween Reborn. Huh. I don't know if that's real or not. I think it could be just fake, but who really knows at this point? At this point, it kind of looks like it is fake, but I'm not 100%. It definitely could be fake. I can't wait. Yeah, I know. I can't wait either. I just can't. There's just no way in the world that I just don't think. I don't believe that we're gonna get it anytime soon. Uh, Now I could be wrong. I could be wrong about it. Maybe I am wrong, but I don't expect it. I don't expect to see it anytime soon. Like I don't. I don't expect to see. I don't expect to see Ghostface or I don't expect to see Michael Myers on the big screen for at least another 5 years, 10 years. You know, and it's kind of. I wish we didn't have to wait personally, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. We have to wait on certain stuff, and we gotta be patient, and we're not gonna get it right away, sadly, and we're gonna have to wait. Oh yeah, I can't wait either, but that'd be cool. Yeah, it would be. It would be awesome. Um, it would be absolutely awesome. But yeah, uh, is Halloween over after Halloween ends? That's what this says. So although Halloween ends claims to be the last in the franchise, plenty of other Halloween movies have made this assertion. Uh, Assertion. I don't know what's that. Yet the beloved slasher movie series always seems continue on. So yeah, Halloween ends is definitely not the last. Definitely not the last. What? Um, Yeah, Halloween's definitely not the last. This Halloween. Halloween ends. Yeah, there's definitely going to be more made. I could tell you that much, right? This franchise makes a lot of money. There's just no way possible that they're going to just quit making them, as I was saying. And despite it not making any sense to a lot of people, they're still gonna, they're still gonna make it. They're still gonna make more because they're it's a big franchise, and and I understand people got a problem with it with Michael Myers coming back, but if they do a whole new timeline or something, I don't have a problem with it because again, they're going to be following another timeline. They're not going to do a follow up from Halloween Ends. So that sucks. We have to wait. Yeah, it does suck. It sucks that we have to wait at least like 5 to 10 years. You know, but that's just the way it's going to be. You know, that's just the way it's going to be. I think, anyways. I mean, I would be shocked. I would be shocked if we got one sooner. But I don't think that we're gonna get any Halloween sooner. Sooner. Like, I don't think we're gonna get any Halloweens anytime soon. Like, so sadly, we are gonna have to wait. Most definitely gonna have to wait. You know. Definitely will be more. Oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be more. I mean, there's no question about that. I mean, nobody's gonna tell. Okay, Halloween Ends may not have been a a great film or anything like that. And a lot of people say because Michael got thrown into that machine, which they say it's unrealistic, but it's not really unrealistic if they follow a whole new timeline. You know what I mean? That's what people don't really get. That's the part people don't really get. Like, they think it is about it. Yeah, it is about money, of course. Of course, it's about money. It's about the franchise. It's a big one of the biggest franchises in horror history, I think. Um, so of course, it's like it's a money grabber. They're gonna keep on making it, and it's about money. And I don't see them I don't see them quitting like I don't see them just not making it no more. And even though it may look unrealistic, the way they kill them, I just don't see that making sense for them to just miraculously just quit making it. Like, but that's just my opinion. Because again, if they follow a whole new timeline or something like that, they follow a whole new timeline, I basically got no problem with that because at least you're not doing a follow up from Halloween Ends or anything like that. Jamie Lee is not going to be in the film anymore. She's basically like retired, I think. Um, So yeah, I definitely think that there is definitely gonna be more. There's definitely gonna be more Halloween films. There's gonna be more. Uh, Michael's not okay. Again, Michael may have got thrown into that machine, but they're going to be following a whole new timeline. So therefore, at that point, it doesn't really, I guess, matter so much. It really doesn't, in my opinion. So it's one of those things that I understand that people don't like that Michael keeps coming back and whatnot, but he can't die, and I understand people say he's like more of a human than Jason is, but he still can't die. But I mean, I understand that, but that's just the character, though. That's the way they made the character, and it may not be as realistic, but still, I still think it's they follow a whole new timeline. That's a lot better in my opinion. Like it's a lot better. Like no question about that. Like because if you follow the same timeline, you're basically following you're following Halloween Ends, which Halloween Ends, that ending, no everybody had a problem with that. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Oh, season of the Boogeyman. Yeah, I don't know what I think that's a fan film 100%. I'm pretty sure it's a fan film 1000%. Like there's just no that's just my opinion on that. Um let's see here. He says agreed. And he says I think him coming back is awesome. Oh yeah, it is. I mean, a lot of people just have a problem again, like I don't understand like what the problem is. Like I understand a lot of people feel like it's unrealistic, but at the same time, they're not gonna just quit making the movies. You know, this franchise has made a lot of money. You know, and they're not gonna just quit making it just because of that. You know, and it may look unrealistic, and I know that, but it's really not if you really look at it, especially if they follow a whole new timeline. If they follow a whole new timeline, that's different because they're not following the same timeline. They're not following the same timeline from Halloween Ends. They're doing their own thing. So I think it's a little different personally. Um, hmm. Halloween Reborn. I wonder what that is. Like I know that's probably more than likely a fan film, but that is pretty interesting to say the least. Hmm. Halloween Reborn. Wow. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I think that's a fan film more than likely, but um, yeah, it's definitely yeah, it is. It's way different. I like that Michael will be coming back. They're not gonna follow the same timeline. Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they're gonna follow the same timeline. I don't think they're gonna follow. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna follow the same timeline or anything like that. I think it's gonna they're gonna follow a new timeline, so that's not really gonna matter as much. You know, unless they do a follow up. They did a follow up from ends. Well, then that right there would be stupid. Yeah, because let's think about it, right? If they did a follow up to Halloween Ends, right? I mean, they it would ruin the film, in my opinion. Halloween Reborn. So the Halloween franchise appears to be coming back to life yet again. So one simply cannot keep a horror franchise down for long. It was less than a year ago that Halloween Ends hit theaters, and as the title promised, that iteration of the franchise ended rather definitively. Director David Gordon Green's trilogy that began with 2018's Halloween reached its conclusion, with Michael Myers meeting his very um, explicit end. But since when or had or but since when has that ever stopped? Hollywood or wait. But since when has that ever stopped Hollywood from doing its thing? Case in point, it looks like a reboot or unlikely, though it may seem, a continuation of some kind is coming. Wait, I can't fucking read this. Sorry, I'm kind of confused. These guys really word this wrong. Like I don't understand. Like, are we in kindergarten or something? Like these people literally can't write. I'm sorry. Case in point, it looks like a reboot or unlikely, though it may seem, to be a continuation of some kind. According to the folks at Bloody Disgusting, Miramax and Malik Akkad's International Films now have the rights back following the conclusion of Green's trilogy, which was produced by Blumhouse Productions and Universal Pictures. Miramax is now said to be actively shopping the rights to Halloween around to various studios and streamers. This rather cruelty includes both the film and TV rights. There is a massive bidding war going on for the TV rights between A24 and Miramax. Huh. The studio is said to be open to both movie and TV projects from both traditional studios and streamers. It will all come down to the pitches and financial terms. Again, Halloween and really close the book on that incarnation of the Michael Myers and Laurie Strode saga. So we would most likely be looking at a reboot or something entirely different. Perhaps something like a Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which didn't include Michael Myers at all. There are certainly ways one could go about it without trending the most recent trilogy. Huh. Oh, dude, please don't do that. If they do that, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be absolutely livid at that point. Please just don't do that. Please don't do that. So whatever the story ends up being, money talks. See, money talks, see? So whatever the story ends up being, money talks. And the recent Halloween trilogy was a huge financial success, with the films taking in a combined 491 million at the global box office. John Carpenter, director of the original 1978 horror classic, said during the Steel City uh, comicbook.com that if Halloween Ends made money, more would probably follow. Okay. I didn't expect there to be a sequel to Halloween 1978. The movie business is ruled by money. The first Halloween made so much money. Here they came again, the same guy saying, "Hey John, let's do another one." I guarantee you if Halloween Ends makes a lot of money, guess what? Yeah. I mean, it's about money, as I was just saying. It's all about money at this point. They're just not gonna just quit making the movies. It's all about money. And again, money talks. And this franchise is not going to just end like that. Like, yeah, it would ruin it if they didn't. I think you mean, yeah, new timeline. Oh, yeah, no. I don't want a Halloween 3. No. Please, no. No way in hell I could deal with that. We've already dealt with that already. I'm not willing to do it again. So Halloween is the most of. So Halloween is the most popular. Uh, take two. Sorry. Halloween is one of the most popular horror franchises in existence. It introduced the world to one of the first slasher serial killers, Michael Myers. It established the returning Final Girl character through Laurie Strode. Halloween proved that Halloween franchises or horror franchises would continue to draw in fans for decades. And while Halloween Ends wasn't a favorite among fans, it showed what no other Halloween sequel has shown before: the defendant destruction of Michael Myers. Nevertheless, the franchise is also known for its reboots every couple of years, and given its strong fan following, moving forward seems inedible. I can't think I'm saying it right. Rumors were circulating that A24 was looking to acquire the rights to Halloween franchise, but then Miramax eventually won the rights. Their intention is to bring the franchise to television and launch a shared cinematic universe series. Here's how the Halloween franchise can continue beyond the retconning of the latest trilogy. Reboot the Jamie Lloyd storyline. The Jamie Lloyd storyline managed to keep audiences hooked from 1988 to 1995. Yet a negative reception resulted in the character being killed in Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. Fans were livid that a fan favorite was handled in such a disrespectful manner. Danielle Harris being replaced by J.C. Brandy and her gory death sequence early into the film. With David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy getting rid of the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers sibling rivalry storyline indefinitely, Jamie Lloyd's storyline can be revisited and given a proper send off or paved the way for other series of Halloween sequels. Danielle Harris has proven that she's still on top of her game through her work in Rob Zombie's Halloween films. Her entertaining podcast alongside fellow Halloween co-star Scout Taylor Compton and her strong fan following demand for her return to the franchise. Halloween Ends received a mixed reception of all uh, reception of all across the board, with some fans loving the introduction of Corey Cunningham's character as a replacement for Michael Myers, and others rejecting the notion of a new shape altogether. Nevertheless, Halloween Ends shows that a new villain can make a Halloween movie and flow seamlessly. Rowan Campbell delivered a compelling new Halloween antagonist. Um, David Gordon Green's concept of the shape extending beyond Michael Myers. Additionally, Allison Nelson's character could easily return as Halloween's new final girl, or even the new killer herself. It would be a spiritual continuation of the Jamie Lloyd storyline as a young girl who appears to be set up as a new killer in the Halloween franchise. Just like Halloween Ends, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch suffered one primary backlash from audiences. Michael Myers being absent from the film. Through the years, the film has managed to earn a spot as a cult classic among fans, and it's even considered top tier Halloween material when compared to its later sequels. The anthology series could be explored in countless ways, and given the horror genre's array of scream queens to play in the franchise's sandbox, it might be difficult for fans at first to move beyond Halloween and Michael Myers. But if Creed can move out from under the shadow of Rocky, then all of it would take as a great then all it would take is a great script and some commitment to evolve Halloween. Halloween Kills set up several interesting plot points. Sheriff Hawkins' backstory and his involvement in the 1978 massacre were explored. Were explored, and his relationship with Laurie Strode was introduced. Haddonfield as a whole was further fleshed out, showing a community that is quickly plugged into anarchy during yet another Halloween massacre, and the movie ends with one of its main characters, Carrie Nelson, killed by Michael in a scene that parallels his sister Judith's own demise. Come Halloween Ends, many of these subplots were revisited only briefly or disregarded altogether. Laurie and Frank's relationship never materializes past casual flirtations. Laurie's road to recovery is mentioned in passing, and Haddonfield is shown to be unforgiven to its own residents without a standalone film could bring closure to many unanswered questions. Frank's road to recovery after his 2018 attack can be shown. His relationship with Laurie can be developed, and other Haddonfield residents could be addressed, notably Corey Cunningham. How did this man deal with the immediate aftermath of accidentally murdering Jeremy? And how did Haddonfield shift from taking care of its own to becoming a antagonistic community? Allison Nelson's character development could be explored deeper as a secondary final girl next to Laurie Strode. Audiences could see her navigate through the trauma of having lost her friend's boyfriend and parents and one night, and how these losses brought her closer to her grandmother, Laurie. The possibilities are limitless given the right script and creative team. The Thorn Curse is perhaps one of the most controversial Halloween subplots. While some fans praised it for its gruesome kills and one of the most menacing Michael Myers incarnations since 1978 original, others were dissatisfied with its treatment of Jamie Lloyd. Its poor characterizations through returning characters as Tommy Doyle, and notably the dismissal of what makes Michael, or this, I think I said that right, what makes Michael Myers such a menacing force. There is no explanation for his murderous ways, aside from him being the shape of evil. Due to its poor box office performance, Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers marked the end of the original Halloween timeline, given way for the franchise's first ever retcon attempt, Halloween H2O. After almost 3 decades, the Thorn storyline has garnered more appreciation from fans, with many asking for a um, continuation film to tie up the loose ends from Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. This would be an excellent way to revive the franchise. Be a good way to revive the franchise after Halloween ends and make better use of the concepts introduced by Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. Stephen Lloyd, the final surviving Myers member, next to Michael himself, could be revisited as an adult. Tommy Doyle could return as the series' new hero, only without associating the reboot to the new trilogy. And Michael Myers could be rewritten in a way to satisfy fans demanding more of the series' antagonist and Halloween ends. Regardless of what direction the Halloween franchise goes in, there is room for it to continue sweeping box office sales for years to come. Okay. So yeah, that's basically all. So yeah, that's all you got. Oh, it's all about money at this point. Oh. But anyhow, guys, I think I'm gonna get off of here. Thank you for popping in, Stu Mocker. Um, I know I planned this out a little bit too late, you know, but I did have a good time. Just at least a person came in. Stu Mocker came in, so nothing gets better than that. Obviously, thank you for popping in, though. I appreciate you. Be sure to look out for future streams as well. I will be probably streaming. I would probably say tomorrow again, maybe later tonight again. I was thinking about doing 2 streams at once, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what I have planned yet. I don't know if I'm going to do another one later or not, but I think I'm going to try to do one a little later, maybe at night or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think about what I could do, but I might try to do it tomorrow instead. Again, because I'm trying to get back on track on my channel, because I know I kind of been missing. I know I kind of been missing a little bit of. I haven't been making as much content as I was, and that's because football season got here, and I wasn't really posting as much, on this channel, but now that football season's practically almost over, I'm still gonna post more on this. I'm gonna try to post on both channels, but yeah, anyhow, it was a great, I had a good time. talking about Halloween. It was a fun stream. Wow, we went for about 3 hours on here. I would say that's a pretty long time. That's pretty long. Um, but I had a good time. Stu Mocker says good stream. Yep. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yep, I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too, man. Like that's all that really matters. But anyhow, guys, Stu Mocker, thank you for popping in, and thank you for those of you that don't see the stream. Obviously, click on the replay, hit the playback button, and watch the replay. And be sure to hit the like button, as always, and comment down below as always as well. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight, and see y'all in the next one. Peace out.